people can take a step and say, hey, what do I want to do? How do I want to have an impact, right? What kind of company do I want to be at? How long do I want to be at it? What is the value of a good culture? What do you compute that as total comp-wise? And I like to say, chase your mentors, right? Find mentorship, because seeking mentorship will grow you and all doors will open. Coming to a company, I wanted to make sure, anywhere I go, that there is that community give back and that people can be themselves.
So today I have Reilly with us, who we can see is handling a guitar right now. So let's start with Reilly playing us some music, and then we can talk about how the work environment is changing and what Reilly has learned over the years. So Reilly, take it away.
Thank you for having me.
That was great. Good job. How long have you been playing music for?
I've been playing guitar about 20 years.
Okay. Do you sing?
I do, yeah. I actually compose, and this is my first guitar ever.
Oh,
so,
wow.
I'm a Rockwood Pro. I got this in like the year 2000, I think. But yeah, wow. I sing and compose. I'm actually working on a solo album that I'm gonna.
Wow. If you would want us to give us, if you would want us to give you a shout out, if you want to share your music with us, what I could do is I could definitely link it up below under this video. So if you want people to get views, we could definitely help you with that as well.
Absolutely. I don't have the album out yet, but when I do release it, I would love to share that. That'd be so awesome.
Of course. So Reilly, thank you so much. So Reilly, tell us about how things have changed and how the markets have changed, especially pre-pandemic.
Yeah. So, I think we're in an exciting time right now. I think the employee has never been more empowered. And I think it's a beautiful thing. And I think the day of having to go into the office and needing to do that grind, because it did become a grind. I think that wore on people, and I think it wore on social relationships, work relationships, just life. And I think, the pandemic has been terrible, but it has given us an opportunity, a silver lining, to really take a step back and say, hey, what are our needs and what are our wants, and how can we, kind of rethink how we approach working? And, for folks like myself, like, I love having my own space, my office, where it's comfortable. I can relax, but I also like going into the office. It becomes more of an exciting kind of rallying thing, and people get jazzed to go in. And I think because of that, it's helped us reshape our company values across the world, and think about what's more important to companies. How does retention play into that? And I think it's a really exciting time right now to try something new, and to really be creative. And I already think we've seen success with the future of work. So
okay, I think a follow-up question for you would be that you mentioned that it's a employee market. Employees have never felt more what's it called, motivated or empowered.
Yeah.
Yes, but I think one thing that I've realized is a lot of employees have out of the box expectations these days, whether it comes to salary expectation and stuff like that. So how do you make sure your expectations are realistic, where they actually do benefit you, as opposed to having these out of the box, expectations that maybe employers could not match? So how do you find that right balance?
That's a great question. And I think the first, existential question an employee asks themselves is where do I want to be? What do I want to work on? Do I want to go to a public, established, big company? Do I want to go to a smaller company, a seed round, a series A, B, C startup, right? Where do I want to grow, right? And with that question, there's all sorts of perks at working at either company, not just compensation perks, but career growth perks, right? You learn different things in different environments, right? An experience at Microsoft or Google is different than an experience at a smaller startup, but there are unifying qualities that translate those. So I would say the expectations start with what do you want to achieve? If you're leading with money, I think that's the wrong motivator to start with. We all need compensation, but some people do want just good money, and that's okay, and there are opportunities that present that, but there's a balance. How good's culture, right? What does career growth look like? What does career mapping look like? Is there mobility, right? Are you going to learn? Are you going to be cross functional, right? And so I think today, as we see the market boom back, people can take a step and say, hey, what do I want to do? How do I want to have an impact, right? What kind of company do I want to be at? How long do I want to be at it? What is the value of a good culture? What do you compute that as total comp wise, right? To me, I mean, that's 30%. I would take a 30% pay cut to know that I am stepping into a wonderful environment that I will be at a long time, that will support my growth and me as a person, right? So I think what comes first? I love Colin Cowherd. He always says, he's a sports, very big sports broadcaster on Fox Sports Radio, but he always says, chase bosses, not money. And I convert that.
Right.
Excuse me. He says, chase bosses, not money. And I like to say, chase your mentors, right? Find mentorship, because seeking mentorship will grow you, and all doors will open, right? So I think setting the expectations as to where do I want to be as an employee, I think that's the first question people need to ask, and what type of path are they seeking?
No, no, I love that. I think the way leaders share and create a framework for its employees
Mm-hmm.
is something that's so important, because they allow, they empower you, they enhance your learning experience. So that's something that's very important. So thank you for sharing that, Riley. My next question for you would be: so you've been in the recruitment space for quite a while. What are some of the characteristics that you look for that make a candidate stand out in the
Yeah, I
market?
think with any candidate, I think it's important to, do the research on the company you're interviewing for, show passion around it, look at the values, talk about how those values resonate with you, read the job descriptions. You can get a lot of cultural flags from a company just reading their verbiage. How does their branding look online? How do they talk about community, career growth, people, diversity, equity, and inclusion, right? And I think that's a good place to get started and really get invested on getting a good idea of company culture and kind of what you're signing up for.
Okay, and where are you currently working, Riley, and what is your current
I work
position
at
within the
FLEXE, and I
company?
am a senior recruiter here.
Okay, and can you tell us a little more about the company, what it does, and
Yeah,
everything, so that if people are interested, they definitely know what to seek
absolutely.
for?
So we are in the supply chain fulfillment space, and we offer an omni-channel logistics program where many partners can plug in, and we really help. We help move product across the giant network that is the U.S. Right. So we're, long story short, we're in the supply chain space, and we've been partnering with lots of companies to make a more pragmatic approach to supply chain, and empower
Okay,
businesses all around the country.
okay. So I think a follow-up question: would you consider Keep Truckin' or Motive now as your competitor?
No, I wouldn't say that. I'm not really familiar with that, to be
Okay,
honest. I think we're in a space where everybody wins if this works, right? And we partner with so many companies and help out so many people, right? Especially in the e-commerce sector, but there's a lot to offer. So as we build that, I think it's more about being a partner across the board, and helping just continue to grow our economy, and rethink supply chain, right? And it's really interesting how the world of supply chain is kind of mirroring distributed computing, right, and cloud, and the need for that unification on a platform level is super important, right? So it's a really interesting
yeah,
time. Like, we're becoming distributed computationally, physically with our goods, and then socially, right? Like, we're figuring out how to be
yeah.
more asynchronous as a people on Earth, and I think that's really cool. And it's all mirroring itself, which is really fascinating. So, and I think that goes with the empowerment stuff, right? We have the ability to kind of beat to our own drum more now that we're at home. Some of us are, but
Yeah.
we've shifted, right? And so I think it allows us to stay on that track that we're used to, but also be creative within it.
No. I think I just like to say, Riley, that I love the humanistic approach that you take towards everything, whether it's to helping people, whether it's taking a pay cut check just because you want to learn from leaders. I think it's very inspiring to see this because a lot of people these days are out there just for money, which is completely fine because they have bills to pay. But it's great to see, and it's very refreshing to see that people like you are still there who want to make a difference in this world. So thank you for sharing that,
Absolutely.
Riley.
And yeah.
Last question,
No, go
Riley.
ahead, please.
Sorry, go ahead. You could go ahead and then I can ask you the last
Oh
question.
no,
No
I
worries.
think, I think the human element is so important. And, I coming to a company, I wanted to make sure, anywhere I go that there is that community give back and that people can be themselves, right? And I just think we're seeing a lot of companies now really pay closer attention to that and give people kind of that space to be themselves, right? Maybe have a crazy hairdo or wear a different kind of shirt, right? I don't know, but it's wonderful to see our acceptance, because I believe everything, our success as you know a planet, happens at that human level, and we have the chance to correct a lot of social maladies right now. That's what's cool about kind of reshaping everything.
That's
So I
very
just
true.
wanted to add that.
No, that's very true. I think differences can definitely coexist and it brings out the best in people. So I think making sure that you can bring your true self can teach
Mhm.
people so many different things about you. So I can definitely relate to that. So thank you for sharing that. So last question, Riley, which would be, is your company hiring? What kind of positions are
Yeah, no,
open? Would
we
love to hear
definitely
more
are
about that.
hiring. We're going to have a lot of ops and sales roles coming up, very exciting stuff in the space. And, of course, tech roles as well. And check us out, flex.com, FLEXE.com, and check out our careers site, see where you might fit in.
Okay. So thank you so much, Riley. Our time is up. It was an absolute pleasure learning about you, your journey with music, how far you've come along the way, and the empathy element that you take towards searching for jobs, helping people out. It's definitely very inspiring to see that people like you exist who are out there and making a difference in so many people's lives. It was an absolute pleasure. And we look forward to listening to your album soon. Do share it so we can
Absolutely.
share it with
Thank you.
our
Thank you
audience
so
as
much
well.
for your time.